YouTube. What's up, baby? We're back in this thing again with another review. This is Q's Insight. I am Callie, and today we're here to talking about another old movie. And we're gonna go in order from 1 through 5, because I know there's a number 6 coming out. Supposed to be this year. But anyways, this movie is entitled Final Destination, baby. Now this movie came out in the 2000s, literally 2000. So, you already know how we do it when we come to this channel. If you've been on here before, started off with the premise, 3 favorite scenes, or 3 of my favorite scenes, the grade, and then we on to the next one, right? So, for this, and the premise is always pretty much the same for each movie. You just have a different tragedy that happens in the beginning. But for this one, Final Destination 1, we have a character named Alex, and he is, along with some of his friends and just students at their school, because I think they're in high school, they're going to actually be going on a field trip to Paris. Now, the whole day, you know, Alex is feeling bothered by something. Something doesn't feel right. And you get to a point where everybody boards the plane that they're taking to go to Paris. And all along throughout that time, you know, him boarding the plane, him waiting and stuff like that, he's seeing little things that are like, you know, hints that, you know, something is about to go awry. So he gets on a plane, all the students get on the plane, the teachers get on the plane, and, you know, everybody else that was just going to Paris, you know, is on a plane as well. Now, what ends up happening is a situation occurs with the airplane, and they go down. Everybody dies. But what ends up happening is when everybody dies, it goes blank, and then it re-pops back up like maybe, you know, 15 seconds before, you know, everything that had just happened. And it shows Alex again, and he's like, yo, like, he's tripping out because he just had a premonition of what is going to happen. So because of that, he, you know, makes a scene. He gets off the airplane. They force him off the airplane, like the people running the airplane. They force him off the airplane. Also, other students end up having to go off the airplane, and one of the teachers ends up having to go off the airplane. Now, everybody else that was going to Paris, you know, they're still on the plane. One of the teachers ends up going back onto the plane, and some of the students that were not acting obnoxious were allowed to still be on the plane. So, you know, Alex, his friends, you know, the other students, and the one teacher that stays, they're in the airport lobby, and what happens is exactly what happened in his premonition. The airplane blows up. You know, the students and the teacher are looking at Alex like, yo, like, how did you know that? You know what I'm saying? Now, that's not the end of it. So, because, you know, everybody that was on that plane was supposed to die. Now, you got some of these students that left with Alex himself, and the one teacher that, you know, had to get off of the airplane. Now, because they were supposed to die, death itself is making a plan to still get those souls, collect those souls. And so you got each and every individual person that got off that plane that was supposed to die. Death is after them. And death is after them in a certain pattern, And it's up to Alex and, you know, his friends to figure out what's going on, how they can stop it, if they can stop it. And if not, then they're all gonna die. So that's the premise of this story. Hopefully I didn't spoil it too much. I tried not to, but you kind of have to spoil a little bit of it just to get the premise. Now let me jump into 3 of my favorite scenes. So this is going to be spoilerish for sure. So 3 of my favorite scenes from this movie would be, number 1, when Alex's friend Todd, he's in the bathroom and he's, plucking nose hairs or whatever, and Death ends up getting him. And it's so crazy how you see the way that Death is trying to get him. Like, there was this water there was water that leaked through the bottom of the toilet, and it spread and it went after basically Todd. Todd moves right before the liquid's going to hit his foot, and it changes directions and follows him, bro. Makes him slip, and then he ends up getting his neck caught up in like some wire or whatever, and then it just chokes him, and he's trying to, get out of it, but it pulls real hard, and it just chokes him, and his eyes go from like white to red. I was like, yo, that's some good effects, bro, and it was a crazy scene, man. So that would be scene number 1. Number 2 is when Terry gets hit by that bus, bruh. When she gets hit by that bus and when she's just walking out in the street because Alex and Carter, they're having an argument. They're like fighting or whatever. And Terry's like, I had enough of this. You guys can sit here. You guys can, not move on. But I'm moving on with my life. I'm going on. She says that as she's in the middle of the street, and she's like, and if you can't move on, then you could just drop dead. As soon as she says that, bus comes, bah, just not, bro. That is one of the funniest things I have ever seen in my life. I know, it ain't something to laugh about, but yo, you already know me, and I laugh at what's not to be laughed at, and that was funny. Number 3 would be Valerie's death, which is, the student's teacher. It was crazy how she died, man. It was crazy how she died because she went through so many things. She was like drinking some vodka. The mug she had the vodka in started to spill into the computer. The computer started malfunctioning. This computer started smoking. She walks up to the computer, blows up a piece of the glass, a shard of the glass, shoots into her neck. She pulls it out. Her neck is leaking. She's, trying to like walk around and make it somewhere or whatever. She ends up going, like tripping over her blood and like falling down, hurting herself real bad. And then, there's like this knife holder, and there was like a towel over the knives in the knife holder, and she's trying to pull the towel down so maybe she can wrap her neck up because it's leaking out. She pulls that, knives come down, one goes right through her stomach. I'm like, yo, she getting it the worst. She got like 2 or 3 things done to her. And then Alex tries to save her, and as he's trying to save her, the the stove, it just like ends up blowing up. And when it does that, there's this, the table's right next to where they are, and of course there's a chair there. When the stove blows up, it knocks the chair down, and it lands on the knife that's in her stomach, causing it to go in further, causing her to really die. And I was like, yo, man, she went out, and it was sad, bro. Like, so many things happened to her, you know what I'm saying? But those would be 3 of my favorite scenes. These movies in general are very good. I love the premise of it, that like, you escape death, and death ends up coming after you, and you don't know where it's coming from. You can be as cautious as you want, it's still coming. You can't escape death. You know what I'm saying? This is like one of the most creative franchises I've ever seen, because it's like usually, you got Leatherface or Jason or Michael Myers or Freddy Krueger. These are things that you can kind of fight, and some more than others, and even kill some. But death, you can't kill. Death, you can't fight. You can escape it, but you live to see another day. What about tomorrow? Then the next week, then the next year. It never leaves, bro. It's gonna come get you. You can't escape it. Like, that is a crazy thing, bro. And for each of these movies, like I said, the beginning has a certain tragedy. So for this one, it was the plane. But yeah, man, Final Destination, this movie was great, man. I saw Final Destination 2 before I actually saw Final Destination. When I saw Final Destination 2, I went back and saw Final Destination. And, I was happy that I did, for sure. But for me, the grade for this, it's going to be a 9.5 out of 10. Can't go wrong with this, especially the first one. The premise of this franchise, and even just this movie, Final Destination 1, is brilliant, man. It's never been done before, not that I know of, and hasn't been done after these Final Destinations. These are the only 5 movies that I know of that have this type of, like, situation going on where you escape death and then death comes after you. Like, it's a crazy idea, man. So 9.5 out of 10 for me. If you guys saw this movie, let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below. What's some of your favorite scenes from the movie as far as, like, the deaths? Do you think that the story is creative? Do you think that the way that they pull these Final Destination movies off is creative? Because, like I said, it's something I've never seen before except for in this franchise. So I just want to interested in seeing what other people think about that. Also, what do you grade the movie? Have you seen all the Final Destinations? You know what I'm saying? And are you looking forward to Final Destination 6? Because there's a Final Destination 6 coming out, like I said, which is the reason why I'm going to be reviewing movies 1 through 5, waiting for number 6 to come out. And then, of course, I'm going to review that. But yeah, man, that's about it. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. As always, this is Q's Insight. I am Cali. Until next time.